Yeah. All right. The third joint, and we're getting too many of them blips from the Zoom, so we're just gonna record this offline and just wrap this up. So, um, I- it's locked. The side door is open. The side door is open. Yeah. All right. Um, so we are influenced by the things that we accept. And that's one of the ways in which, in this temporal realm, in this physical experience, this materiality, our mind exists beyond our control. Um, but we have a say in in what we accept and how that influences us. Um, so health is just a further extension of that experience. And when we understand like the nature of things, like what happens when it gets cold, what happens when it gets hot, what happens with our bodies when these things, then we can proceed accordingly. And so it's not a matter of like controlling the nature of heat and cold per se, but controlling our experiences or having an influence, having a determining factor in these situations. And then when it comes to germs and viri, and dis-ease, and additionally cancer, and additionally it's a matter of understanding the nature of it and progressing accordingly. It's not a matter of being invincible. It's just a matter of understanding the nature, and then yes, understanding how even these phenomena are manifested through our thoughts, words, and deeds. So when we heal our actions, when we heal our communication, and when we heal our thoughts, then we have a better experience of the healing within us and around us as well, and understanding the nature of healing. Let me tell it. So, that being said, it's a suggestion. Now, doctors know this, and doctors know like the power of suggestion. I addressed this before, and how how suggestion is a greater power than force. So when somebody's sick, doctors don't go hit cats over the head and be like, "Yo, get better." It's a suggestion. Here's things to do that you need to do yourself. Eat healthy, get rest, get liquid, treat yourself better, don't get stressed. Do these exercises. Again, it's the cat's not doing like can't do it for you. It's a suggestion for the person to do it oneself, because those are things that are part of the healthy process. Hygiene. Wash your hands before you do joints. Be mindful of this. Be mindful of that. Don't go rubbing this. Don't go scratching that. As best you can. So again, it's suggestion, because it's a matter of understanding the nature and nature of the phenomena, but then also the nature of the mind and how it relates with the phenomena. The influence is through the suggestion. The healing that the doctor provides is through the suggestion. The doctor can administer chemicals, can administer prescriptions, and additionally, but ultimately it's a matter of the actions and the communication and the thoughts of the individual to do the healing. And so that's it. Now, that being said, the doctors do not cure any disease. That's a misnomer. And the doctors might take issue with me on this joint, but this is where it gets increasingly controversial. Doctors do not cure any disease. Doctors only redistribute, disseminate the disease. Like, redistribute the disease is, I guess, the most accurate thing I can think of at this point. All right. So when somebody's experiencing disease, like, it's a matter of, again, there's that psychosomatic kind of experience. And so doctors can have an influence in that psychosomatic, in giving somebody encouragement and knowledge about how to deal with that. And that can help the person on the way. But in doing that, guess what? The doctor is detracting from the experience of wellness that another person is experiencing. Hi. I'm just saying hi. I say hi to people. Oh, what's that? Oh, okay. That's cool. Love and peace to you. So the doctor is taking from that wellness from somebody else and distributing it to the person, the patient in front of the doctor. Now, you can say, well, where's your proof of this? Where's the evidence? Observation. Um, Now, people, that can be like debated, argued, talked about this and the other, but for the purpose of this moment, that's just I offer that as a consideration, and I build from that here. So when people go for treatment, and additionally, the doctors decide who to provide the healing, who to provide that suggestion, who to provide that inspiration with, and who not to provide that from, and who to withhold it from. And that's where it becomes doctors getting developed in the manipulations of humanity, because a lot of those decisions are based upon what people can pay. Our patients are able to pay the premiums that practitioners impose. Yo, the P's are at it today. Yes, Freud is all up in all of this. So, anyways, I'll decode it a little bit. My name starts with a P. My given English name. So, anyways, doctors simply redistribute disease, don't cure disease. And it can seem very effective because they say, look, this is my patient, and now the patient is healed. Evidence. But then simultaneously, why is like 20 people feeling 10% worse in some other place? Again, where's your proof? Where's your evidence? Observation. You got to have your eyes open to see it. There's a truth, there's evidence, there's proof beyond the material, and even through the material. But anyways, I invite you to check out the first chapter of the Tao Te Ching about that. So anyways, my point for saying this is that doctors do the best that doctors are able to do, and make the decisions as best as doctors are able to do, and do some phenomenal jobs in healing people. Awesome jobs. Where's your proof? Where's your evidence? So, that being said, again, doctors are enveloped in the same selfish, greedy, hateful, delusional tendencies of humanity. That's part of the nature. And doctors don't have an idea, or a categorical, absolute idea of what health is. Being able to define it. The absence of disease. What is disease? What is treatable? What is not? That might be a little bit further able to identify, but particularly what is health, and particularly when we get to the mind. I share in a recent conversation with medical students the notion of human beings being predatory, and predatory against other human beings. And when we recognize that, and when we recognize that doctors are as predatory as anybody else is, recognizing that the Zoom is out again. Recognizing that when doctors are predatory, it's like being a veterinarian in a slaughterhouse. What's the point? Is it just a matter of serving somebody else's interests and somebody else's agenda other than the individual in front of the doctor or in front of the veterinarian? So that might seem very harsh. Stop eating slaughterhouse products and then see the correlation. But anyways, and the relevance and the apropos. My point is that doctors ain't perfect, and people tend to deify doctors because in this society of fierce individualism and liberty and personal freedom, people have a tendency of being very stubborn and independent, or at least perceiving themselves as such, and being able to do whatever they think they can do or whatever they want to do by themselves without depending upon anybody else. And anytime anybody does something for somebody else, it's because I deserve it and I've done this, or I pay them to do this, or whatever else. So it's always I'm the one that's doing it, even when others are doing it. I gave them something to do that. So that comes to a halt, and that people can roll that way for a long time, in that illusion. I won't call it delusion. It is delusion, but I'll call it illusion. Anyways, cat's out the bag. Um, can roll that way for a long time, and be able to manipulate others in that kind of perception. However, when it comes to the body, and when one is afflicted, a lot of people don't have the know-how, don't know how to do it, and so have to rely upon doctors in a way that they don't understand, beyond their comprehension, their immediate comprehension. They might understand the general things when it is explained, but how to do it themselves, they don't know how to do it themselves. So they have to rely upon the doctor, and they'll pay a high price for it. Okay, but still they rely upon the doctor because, oh, yachi. I'm getting all kind of joints on this thing, unprecedented as well. So I have to discern how to proceed. Plus, out of the conditions and the battery's running low. All right, let's finish up. So, saying that people are willing to pay the doctors. But again, deifying the doctors because it's beyond people's comprehension. And that's too much of a weight on doctors. That's unfair for doctors. Anyways, the point being that doctors are enveloped in the same competition, the same predatoriness within humanity. And what we are evidencing at this moment, what we can recognize at this moment is a science-based martial law. The notion of shutdowns, lockdowns, this, that, and the other, it's an imposition on people's movements and functions, and it's very logical. It can be very appropriate. I'm saying I'm not going to, but so can martial law be when conditions get to be such a way. But it's just a matter of recognizing it is this way. It's beyond the level of governments at this point. It's beyond the level of even corporations at this point. It's actually even beyond the level of doctors, and it's arguably beyond the level of temporal religiosity. It's beyond any individual or any one group's specific control. And the fact that doctors are communicating a difficulty in containing the contagion as evidence that the doctors are asking for help. So my thing is not malevolence or criticism towards doctors or admonishment of doctors. It's just a matter of communicating the conditions. So, all right, I'm gonna wrap this up quick because it's getting to be that point. Alright. Love and peace to all doctors. Love and peace to all people. Love and peace to all beings of this earth. That being said, this is a science-based martial law, so that's just a matter of understanding what it is. It's doctors flexing, and when doctors flex, that's not what doctors want to do. It's not what doctors want to do because it's a demonstration of lack of control, and it's also relying upon others in a way that unseats the power, the influence of doctors. So that's one thing. The other thing is that this can be considered as a live test run of the ending of the United States. Now that's even further provocative, controversial, perhaps perceivably inflammatory. And additionally, I don't call for the end of the United States, but I share this as a consideration of an experiment, or it's not even an intentional experiment, but a consideration of what the dissolution of the United States might look like, how the public would respond, and how to plan accordingly. Again, beyond the level of governments, beyond the level of the Illuminati or conspiracy, whatever. But amidst all of this, and being observed by all of this. So, amidst all that, balance, calmness, modesty, compassion, and honesty, truthfulness, and recognizing that regardless of what the conditions are, our purpose is consistent. Our purpose is constant. How we might go towards fulfilling that purpose might adjust according to the conditions, but the purpose stays constant because the truth is constant, and our purpose is our progression, our continual progression towards truth in this life, utilizing the services, utilizing the talent and the skills through the service that we provide, the talent and skills that we have through the service that we provide. That's how we fulfill our purpose, and that stays the same regardless of what the conditions are. And in focusing on that purpose, there's a calmness. There's an awareness of the equilibrium, and the harmony and the nature, the ebbs and flows, the hot and the cold, the high and the low, the wet and the dry, the confluences, and the well-being amidst all this. Today may not be unlike other days. It might be very similar to other days, but rather convoluted. Because in my mind, I got it clear. It's like concise when I get into the words. And again, conditioning plays a factor. It's beyond my control. I'm actually working on a number of fronts at the moment simultaneously, so I'm multitasking. So that's an element of it. And one of those tasks of the multi is dealing with the tech. So batteries are running low, storage is getting tested, internet connection's already been spotty. So we are going to wrap this up and see what we got at the end in order to deliver it accordingly. So, all that being said, the takeaway for this joint, honesty, beyond all the manipulations, identifying our purpose, staying true to our purpose, and in staying true to our purpose, finding constancy amidst the chaos, and sharing that as best we're able to. So I was about to cough almost for the first occasion today, and I know that's one of the symptoms. So I noticed that. Interesting. So all that being said, namaste, assalamu alaikum, shalom, zajen, adios, te chakri, se siempre na asmugo, kele ufred, one love and peace.